season. It's well underway in most places. We've got, here in Oklahoma, we're second day into rifle season, and hopefully you guys are successful and have a lot of meat to stock the freezer with. And one of the things that we love around here in the ranch is some jerky. And we make jerky with everything. Honestly, it's been years since I've made it with beef because we always seem to have a supply of game meat. The last couple of years I've made a lot of elk jerky, moose jerky. This is today what I'm going to make is some venison jerky. This is a mule deer that I harvested in Colorado. And so I'm going to show you guys the process of how to make, or how we make kind of a traditional jerky. Follow along and I'll show you exactly how to make it. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how to prepare your meat. You want to have this meat trimmed. You can see here that we've got a little bit of stuff, a little bit of places where there's some connective tissue or a little fat, but for the most part you want that to be trimmed off. The reason why is fat will go rancid and your jerky will not last as long. So the majority of your meat you want to be pretty nice and trimmed. I mean, honestly that meat looks pretty good. Now, as far as how to trim your meat, you typically want to go against the grain. Muscle fibers run longwise, and if you cut with the grain, that's going to leave a longer muscle fiber, and that's going to make the meat chewier, and you're going to have to take bigger pieces off. So I recommend going against the grain, and that's what I've done here. So I've got about 4 pounds worth of venison. I pretty much keep it the same way every time. So this is Worcestershire sauce. I've got a half cup. This is soy sauce. I've got a 1/4 cup. And then this is liquid smoke, and that is 1/8 of a cup. My seasonings are going to be very simple. I'm going to go onion powder, garlic, cayenne pepper, and then we've got some brown sugar. I've got so the ratio is 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So I'm going to get these mixed into a bowl, kind of get the flavors all melding, and then we're going to coat this meat with it. Alright, so let's get things started here. We're going to start with our Worcestershire sauce. We're going to go into the bowl we go. Soy sauce. And liquid smoke. This happens to be mesquite, but you can use whatever you want. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our seasonings. Already kind of smells good. I'm just starting. And I'm going to get this all mixed up. The brown sugar is dissolved. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, I'm going to dump it in with my meat, and then I'm just going to gently kind of massage the meat, get it all turned around, get the meat coated on all sides. Alright, so we've got our meat nice and coated in our marinade. This meat is thin, it's only about an 1/8-inch thick, and so you don't have to marinate this stuff for a week. It just really needs to be marinated, 12 to 24 hours. Give it time to soak up that marinade, and then coat the outside of the meat with that seasoning, and this is going to dehydrate really nicely. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get it covered up, and I'm going to put it in the fridge until tomorrow. I'll meet you guys back at the dehydrator. Alright guys, so it's been about 24 hours since I put the jerky in the marinade. I brought it over to the shop, which is where my dehydrator is. I have this big Cabela's dehydrator. This thing is like I think it's 12 trays, something like that. It takes up a lot of space, and we just don't really have a good place for it over at the house. So I've got it over here in the shop. And what do we got here? But we have some nice looking jerky. Smells amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this jerky loaded up into the trays. That's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you want to lay it flat and you don't want to overlap. So got the jerky all loaded in the dehydrator. This was 4 pounds of jerky, right at 4 pounds, and it only used 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 trays. So I mean, this thing will hold a lot of meat. Turn it on. So what you're gonna do is push this one, push that one. So we're gonna push it on. Then we're gonna take this one.
Yes.
We're gonna push it.
No, me.
Okay. Now, hold on, Sam. Okay. So now we're gonna turn it up to 160.
Yes.
And we're gonna set the time for 4 hours. And then that little fan is saying that it's starting to preheat. So currently it's only 54 degrees. It's gonna take a little bit of time. We'll check it at 4 hours, and if we need to go a little bit longer, we can. Well, I'll check back with you here in just a few. We'll see how it's gonna do. What do you think, Sam?
Good.
Yep, it's gonna be good, isn't it? All right, guys, so it's been about 4 hours. Crazy thing is, I put this meat on. I went and set over a food plot. I killed a pig. So now I got to get to working on that. So I got this meat coming off, which is some mule deer. I got a pig I got to go get butchered up. Good night. So this, like I said, this was on for about 4 hours. See, we've got some bend to it, but nice and done. I'm gonna go ahead and take all this off. Actually, I'm gonna get a little taste. Man. That's good. The flavoring, it's not overpowering, but it's just got a nice traditional flavor to it. Give this recipe a try. You can tweak it. You know, if you like it a little hotter, go ahead and put a little bit extra cayenne, maybe a couple of splashes of Tabasco. If you find that it's not salty enough for you, you know, change up the ratio with the soy sauce a little bit. What I am going to do with this is after I get it home, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of blackened seasoning in the bag and let it get kind of season the meat just a touch. That's a real nice added touch. Hope you guys enjoy.